Your brain does not fight change because you are weak. It fights change because the old version of you feels safer than the better version of you. That is the uncomfortable truth most people never understand. You can hate your habits, hate your routine, hate the way you keep wasting time, overthinking, procrastinating, pleasing people, going back to the same distractions, the same emotional patterns, the same comfort. And still, a strange part of you will protect that life. Not because it is good. Because it is familiar. And to your brain, familiar often feels safer than free. This is why change feels so personal. You decide to wake up early, and suddenly your mind becomes a lawyer defending your bed. You decide to stop chasing someone who does not value you, and suddenly your heart starts remembering only the good moments. You decide to become disciplined, and suddenly every excuse sounds intelligent. You decide to speak with confidence, and your body reacts like you are walking into danger. And then you blame yourself. You think, why am I like this? Why do I keep ruining my own progress? Why do I know what to do, but still don't do it? But maybe the problem is not that you do not want to change. Maybe the problem is that a part of your brain believes change is a threat. Most people misunderstand self-improvement because they think change is mainly about motivation. So they watch one video, feel inspired, make a big promise, and imagine their life will finally become different. But motivation is only the spark. It is not the fire. The real battle begins later. When nobody is watching. When the excitement fades. When the old comfort calls your name. When your phone is beside you. When your emotions are heavy. When you are tired, lonely, stressed, bored, or afraid. That is when your brain reveals what it truly trusts. Not your goals. Your patterns. Because your brain is not designed to make you successful first. It is designed to keep you alive first. And survival is often built on repetition. The routine you hate still gives your brain predictability. The comfort zone you complain about still gives your nervous system a sense of control. The identity you want to escape still tells your mind, at least we know who we are here. This is why change can feel like betrayal. You are not just changing a habit. You are interrupting an identity. And identity does not disappear quietly. Think about the person who wants to become confident. They tell themselves, from now on, I will stop caring what people think. But the next day, someone gives them a cold look, replies late, criticizes their idea, or ignores their message. And suddenly their old self returns. They shrink. They over-explain. They apologize too much. They replay the moment again and again. Not because they forgot the advice. Because their nervous system remembers the old rule. Stay small, and you will be safe. That rule may have been learned years ago. Maybe from criticism. Maybe from rejection. Maybe from being laughed at. Maybe from being ignored whenever they spoke honestly. So now, even when they want confidence, their brain still associates visibility with danger. This is why advice like just be confident often fails. It sounds simple. But inside the person, confidence feels like exposure. And exposure feels like risk. The same thing happens with discipline. You may want to work hard. You may want to build your body, your business, your skills, your mind. But the moment you sit down to focus, your brain starts searching for relief. Check your phone. Get a snack. Watch one video. Reply to one message. Clean your room first. Research more. Start tomorrow when you feel better. And here is the strange part. Your excuses do not always sound lazy. Sometimes they sound reasonable. That is what makes them dangerous. Your brain knows how to protect the old you using intelligent language. It will not say, I want to waste your life. It will say, you need rest. It will say, you work better under pressure. It will say, you should wait until you feel ready. It will say, this is not the right time. And sometimes, yes, rest is real. Pressure can help. Timing matters. But if the same reason keeps appearing every time you are about to grow, it is probably not wisdom. It is resistance wearing a mask. Pause here. Because this is where most people lose the game. They think resistance means stop. But resistance often means you are approaching the border of your old identity. The brain loves automatic behavior because automatic behavior saves energy. Habits reduce mental effort. That is useful when the habit is brushing your teeth or driving a familiar road. But it becomes a prison when the habit is avoidance, insecurity, emotional eating, doom scrolling, anger, people pleasing, or quitting when things get uncomfortable. Your brain is efficient. But efficiency is not always growth. Sometimes your brain will efficiently repeat the very life you are trying to escape. And because old habits are emotionally rewarded, they are hard to break. Not always because they feel good. Sometimes because they feel relieving. There is a difference. Scrolling for 2 hours may not make you happy. But it gives relief from boredom. Overthinking may not solve anything. But it gives relief from uncertainty. Avoiding a difficult conversation may not build respect. But it gives relief from conflict. Going back to someone who hurts you may not heal you. But it gives relief from loneliness. This is why the brain can choose a familiar pain over an unfamiliar peace. Because familiar pain comes with instructions. You know how to survive it. But a better life? That requires you to learn new emotional skills. You have to tolerate silence without filling it. You have to tolerate discipline without immediate reward. You have to tolerate confidence without approval. You have to tolerate loneliness without running back to disrespect. You have to tolerate boredom without escaping into cheap stimulation. You have to tolerate being misunderstood without abandoning yourself. And that is where real change begins. Not when you feel motivated. But when you can stay with discomfort long enough for your brain to learn, this is not danger. This is growth. Most people quit before their brain gets that lesson. They start exercising for 3 days, feel sore, feel awkward, see no results, and conclude, this is not for me. They start reading, but their attention feels weak, so they stop. They start setting boundaries, but someone gets upset, so they feel guilty and go back to pleasing. They start building discipline, but the first boring day convinces them they have lost momentum. But change has a delay. Your old brain reacts before your new life rewards you. That delay is where character is built. And it is also where most people surrender. Because the old life gives quick comfort. The new life gives slow respect. The old life gives immediate relief. The new life gives delayed freedom. The old life asks nothing from you. The new life asks you to become someone who keeps promises when emotions change. And that is why self-respect is one of the most powerful tools in change. Not ego. Not arrogance. Self-respect. Self-respect is the quiet feeling that your own word matters. When you say, I will do this, and then you actually do it, your brain starts updating its image of you. At first, it may not believe you. Because you have made promises before. You have said tomorrow before. You have started over before. So do not expect your brain to trust your new identity immediately. Earn it. With small evidence. Not dramatic declarations. Do not begin by trying to change your entire life in one night. That usually feeds the same cycle. Huge emotional decision. Short burst of effort. Discomfort. Failure. Shame. Back to old habits. Instead, make change so small that your brain has less reason to panic. Wake up 10 minutes earlier. Walk for 10 minutes. Write 1 page. Do 5 push-ups. Read 2 pages. Pause before reacting. Say 1 honest sentence instead of pretending. Put your phone away for 15 minutes. Do the thing badly, but do it. Because the goal at the beginning is not perfection. The goal is proof. Proof that you can act without waiting for the perfect mood. Proof that discomfort is not an emergency. Proof that your identity is not fixed. Proof that the old version of you does not own the future. And when your brain fights back, do not be shocked. Expect it. Name it. Say, this is resistance. Not, this is me failing. Not, this is proof I cannot change. Just, this is resistance. That simple separation matters. Because when you identify with resistance, you obey it. But when you observe it, you create space. And in that space, you have a choice. You can feel fear and still act. You can feel lazy and still start. You can feel insecure and still speak. You can feel lonely and still not return to what broke you. You can feel confused and still take the next honest step. This is emotional intelligence. Not being calm all the time. Not being fearless. But learning how to stop letting temporary emotions command your permanent direction. There is a deeper reason change feels so hard. To change your life, you must grieve the version of yourself that survived your past. Even if that version was insecure. Even if it procrastinated. Even if it avoided things. Even if it settled for less. It still helped you survive something. Your people-pleasing may have once protected you from rejection. Your emotional walls may have once protected you from pain. Your laziness may have once protected you from failure. Your silence may have once protected you from judgment. Your distractions may have once protected you from feeling what you did not know how to face. So do not hate the old you. Understand it. But do not let it lead forever. There comes a point where the same habits that once protected you begin to limit you. The shield becomes a cage. The comfort becomes a cost. The excuse becomes an identity. And the life you call safe slowly becomes the life that is stealing from you. It steals your time. Your confidence. Your health. Your relationships. Your focus. Your self-respect. Your ability to look in the mirror and believe yourself. And the saddest part is not failure. The saddest part is adapting to a smaller life and calling it normal. You were not born with low standards for yourself. You learned them. You learned what felt possible. You learned what felt safe. You learned what kind of attention to chase. You learned what kind of pain to tolerate. You learned what kind of dreams to delay. And anything learned can be questioned. Not erased overnight. Questioned. Rebuilt. Replaced. The turning point comes when you stop waiting for change to feel natural. At first, growth will feel unnatural. Discipline will feel unnatural. Confidence will feel unnatural. Boundaries will feel unnatural. Peace will feel unnatural if chaos is what you know. Being respected will feel unnatural if you are used to begging for basic consideration. But unnatural does not mean wrong. Sometimes it means new. And new needs repetition before it feels like home. So when your brain fights you, do not see it as a sign to quit. See it as the old system trying to survive. Thank it for getting you this far. Then stop letting it decide where you go next. You do not need to destroy yourself to change. You need to train yourself. Patiently. Honestly. Repeatedly. One uncomfortable promise at a time. One better choice at a time. One moment of not escaping at a time. And eventually, your brain begins to learn a new truth. Focus is safe. Discipline is safe. Confidence is safe. Boundaries are safe. Growth is safe. The life you want stops feeling like a threat. And starts feeling like yours. So the next time you feel resistance, remember this. Your brain is not always telling you the truth. Sometimes it is only telling you what kept you alive yesterday. But you are not only here to survive yesterday. You are here to build a life that your future self does not have to recover from. And if this helped you see yourself differently, Subscribe for more deep psychology and self-improvement lessons.